All right, well, I'm going to get started because why not? All right, so hi, I'm Amber from Influencer Updates on Instagram and TikTok. And tonight I'm going to be talking about 3 of the biggest Australian influencer news stories for the week, which I think are Emilee Hembrow has offended people who do not have kids. Fidan Tok has shared details of her $400,000 pool, Australian dollars, and my theory from what people have told me as to why Zana Pali and her husband have split. So, yes, people are saying they can see my sister in the window. I did tell her that, so she is aware, thank you. All right, so Emilee Hembrow, this week on TikTok, she released a video saying, basically, if you don't have kids, you don't have an excuse not to get things done. Because when you do have kids, you're obviously very busy tending to their needs and it's very hectic. And she therefore offended pretty much everybody who doesn't have children, including those who aren't able to have children. But there was no disclaimer, I suppose, as to her privilege around this. So obviously there is privilege. She has no physical disability stopping her from getting things done. She has no mental disability. There was somebody in the comments saying that they have maybe like cancer or something, and that obviously affects their ability to get things done. There's also no mention of financial disabilities or financial struggles. And there's also no mention of the fact that some people are looking after people other than kids, like they might be looking after their parents or their siblings or a spouse or something. So yes, this obviously offended a lot of people. A few people were saying that it's giving Molly May, everybody has the same 24 hours in a day quote, and others were saying it gives Kim Kardashian's quote that women in business just need to get up and do the work. So I obviously understand what Emilee meant by this, in that she was saying that it is her experience that she wishes she had have done more before kids rather than complaining that she was so busy kind of thing. And that now that she does have kids, she's so busy looking after them that it's hard for her to get things done for herself. And she obviously wasn't thinking about other people and their potential struggles. Yes, Kayla? Okay. So yeah, she has since deleted the video and she has done a follow-up video explaining pretty much that yeah, she wasn't trying to offend people, which I don't think anybody thought she was trying to offend people, but it was more just like the tone-deaf attitude to the whole privilege that she has that people had a problem with. All right, that's a pretty quick story, but it did blow up on social media, so that's why I wanted to cover it. I also wanted to cover different stories to what Outspoken, the podcast, covered today. So let's see.
And what are your thoughts on that story?
Yes, people, I'm going to read those now. So Emilee has deleted the original video, but her apology or explanation video, that is still up on her TikTok. Emilee has an au pair doing everything. Well, she does have an au pair. I don't know if they do everything, but yeah, the thing with Emilee now is that she is running multiple businesses. She's got a new supplements business coming with her sisters. She's got 2 or 3 beauty salons that she runs with one of her sisters. She obviously has like her influencing career. She then has 3 children and 2 stepchildren. So I imagine she is a very, very busy person. But yeah, she's talking about pre-kids, how people, well, she thought she was busy. And now that she's got this life, she realizes that she wasn't busy and she could have got a lot more done. This person's saying, what needs to be done though? Well, yeah, that's a really good point. I imagine for her, it's, yeah, her businesses. Like she really wants time to work on her businesses, and she's saying pre-kids, make the most of that time, set up a business maybe. Yes, someone here is saying that it's giving Kim K vibes. This person saying, I don't think she's as hands-on as she's making out. Kayla has just said to me, maybe she wants to get housework done, but I imagine she'd have some sort of maid or cleaner to help because she would need it, definitely. And this person saying that Emilee pretends that she is at work all the time. Isn't Emilee demolishing her house and rebuilding? Definitely her choice to be busy. Yeah, she is currently... No, she's currently in a rental. I think she has a house that she's bought and she might be like renovating that. And she has some like architecture person that's like redesigning it all and everything. But yeah, it would keep her very busy doing that as well. People are asking who's in the video. They thought they were seeing things. My sister has a paint and sip studio called Canvas and Cork in Torquay, and influencer Montana Older, she was there recently. I saw on the stories, and I messaged Kayla straight away. I'm like, do you realize Montana Older is an influencer and she's at your studio? That's so cool. Oh yeah, this person said that Emilee Hembrow has shared the details of her cleaners on her Instagram. Yeah, that's true. I imagine that is some sort of sponsored setup as well. But yes, that is the Emilee Hembrow story for the week. So the next story I'm going to cover is Fidan Tok. So Fidan, her surname is not Tok. It's like her TikTok account. She calls herself Fidan Tok. She's just hit 1 million followers on TikTok. She has mentioned that the majority of her followers, or maybe it was in a news article, that the majority of her followers are American, but she is Australian and she is a lawyer. She is a partner in a law firm. So she is very obviously from her videos and what she says, she makes a lot of money. She has twins, a boy and a girl. And what have I written here? Oh yeah, so for the last 3 years, she's been in the process of building a pool in her backyard, a swimming pool. So she said here that it was 2.5 years of planning and 6 months to build. And the crazy part about this story is that the total cost of the pool was $400,000. Now, everybody is saying this is completely outrageous, but I'm going to explain here where these costs come from. I'm not a pool expert by any means, but this is not one of those pool shells that you buy and then like dig a hole and put it in and fill it. This is like a custom made professional pool. So she has said that the planning, reports and fees costs $50,000. A biodiversity credit was $52,000. So I've looked that up, and in New South Wales, the biodiversity credit is some like credit to preserve vegetation and things. So I'm wondering if maybe because she had to clear so much of her garden to make room for this pool, maybe you've got to like give money to this biodiversity credit to like offset the damage that that's doing. So that was $52,000. And then the pool build and surrounds, which would be like the landscaping and fencing and stuff, I'm guessing, was $300,000. And this is a concrete and tile pool, and it is an infinity pool. So her land is very, very steep. It was sort of like multi-levels, like it was levels like this. And yeah, so she had to clear all the vegetation from one of the levels. Then they had to dig it out. I'm guessing they had to like reinforce the layer so that it wouldn't collapse once it's full. It's an infinity pool, which then has like a catchment area. It's got, yeah, fencing. It's got all tiles. It is huge. It's also got a spa built into it. So I can definitely see why this would add up to $400,000. But yeah, she's obviously not short of a dollar. She went on a Disney cruise last year, I noticed, and was saying that it was, I think, $8,000 Australian, and people were going absolutely mental about that. That was for 4 nights. And I know for a fact she wasn't lying, because me and Kayla took my kids on a Disney cruise for 2 nights, and it was half that, so 4,000 Australian dollars. And she did a review on it, and she was saying she doesn't believe it was worth the money. She said like it was good, but it wasn't $8,000 worth, and she would have better value from other cruises. And my review would be exactly the same. I have been on other cruises as well, and so has Kayla, and we both believe that it is very expensive for what it is. Other cruises are like half the price and just as good. But yeah, so that's the pool story. Let's see what people are saying now. $400,000 is a house in most places. I mean, some places I would say, certainly not where we live. We're in Torquay, Victoria at the moment, and $400,000, what would it get you? Maybe a 1-bedroom unit?
Not even a block.
Would it get you a 1-bedroom unit?
Absolutely.
No. So, I mean, obviously $400,000 is a lot of money, regardless of what you're buying with it. But yeah. This person's saying, I followed Fidan for her legal stories. Now it's all just grocery shopping, cooking, and ignoring her kids to film. Oh, that's really sad, isn't it? She does also a lot of salads. I've noticed her pin posts are all salads, so that must be something that's popular for her at the moment. And yeah, she does a lot of shopping for designer items. So she'll go to like Chanel, for example, things like that. But yeah, I don't really see her sharing legal stories much at all anymore, in fact. $400,000 is crazy. She has 2 kids, better off saving the money. She also has mentioned before that her kids are in daycare 5 days a week, and they're twins, and because she earns so much money, she doesn't get any of the childcare subsidy. So it ends up being like $400 a day, 5 days a week. So $2,000 a week for childcare, which is insane. She must just be making so much money, I can't even comprehend. This person's saying they used to like Fidan, now they feel like her content is a bit forced for views. I mean, I think everybody's content is forced for views in a way. Of course, like, she's going to see what does well and make more of it. So yeah, it probably is forced for views, but I don't think that is exclusive to Fidan. I've never heard of a biodiversity credit. That's crazy. Yeah, I'd never heard of it before either, but I guess I'm not building a $400,000 pool. Maybe that's why I haven't heard of it. But I researched it before this, and yeah, it just seems to be some sort of, kind of reminds me of like how airlines have to purchase carbon offsets or whatever it is. Like, it just seems like another tax. I think that's what it is, essentially, a tax. This person's saying pools barely add any value to properties. It actually can put buyers off if she ever wanted to sell. Yeah, it definitely can put buyers off because there's a lot of maintenance involved in a pool, and some people, like if they're elderly, for example, they don't think they're going to use a pool, but also it can make the property more appealing to buyers. It just depends who your buyers are, I suppose. This person's saying, I mean, if she has the money, good for her, but what a waste. I mean, I personally couldn't justify $400,000 on a pool, but if I had the money, then yeah, I agree. Why not? And she's got 2 little kids, so I imagine they're going to stay there a long time and they're going to get a lot of use out of the pool. This person's asked, does she still work in legal, or is it all now influencing PR? Yes, she does still work in legal, and she was mentioning recently that now she's got 1 million followers, she's going to be focusing more on like sponsored posts and things. And it did make me wonder if she's earning more money from TikTok than what she's earning from her law firm, because at what point is there going to be a crossover there, and is she ever going to give up the law job? But yeah, I would love to know how much money she makes from either of those careers, but she's not going to share that, which is totally fair. Yeah, this person's saying pools generally add value. They're saying that she lives in inner Sydney. I don't believe she lives in inner Sydney because her house is very much like lots of trees and everything, but maybe that is somewhere in inner Sydney. Can you tell us which cruise you've been on that was just as good and half the price? It was a P&O cruise, so P&O doesn't exist anymore. We both went on P&O cruises separately, and yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. But Kayla recently went on one that I was supposed to go on, but I cancelled it because I just couldn't be bothered taking the kids again because the Disney cruise was just too much. But Kayla went on it recently, and it was Royal Caribbean. And if you look at their specials and go in like the off season, so it was the first week back to school, so it was half price because most people go on cruises, I guess, with their kids, maybe, don't know, and because it's back to school, they're not going to want to go on the cruise, so it was half price. So yeah, maybe look at Royal Caribbean specials, or Carnival have now taken over P&O, so maybe them. But yeah, $4,000 for 2 nights on a Disney cruise was just crazy money. That was for the 4 of us though, so $1,000 per person. Oh yeah, everyone's talking about Fidan's salads. And they think that Fidan's kids are in school now. They're not in school, so she says kindy or kinder or something, which I think is, it depends on the states. Everyone calls prep something different. In Victoria, we call it prep, which is year 1 minus 1. Sorry, that's probably going to confuse people even more, but I work at a school and we call it year 1 minus 1, and that means prep. But yeah, her kids aren't in prep. I believe that they're in kinder. I would call it kinder, which is before prep. This person's saying where Fidan lives in Sydney is one of the wealthiest areas in Sydney. Houses are minimum $2 million, up to $15 million. That makes sense why you'd put a $400,000 pool in it, doesn't it? You're not going to put a pool in a $400,000 house. Yeah. Oh no, this person's saying her kids have just started school. She decided on a public school, which is interesting given she just spent $400,000 on a pool. Interesting. School pool. Okay. This person's saying she has a de facto. She pays 70% of the mortgage and he pays 30%. Oh, I love knowing how different couples, I'm guessing she's shared that. Oh. But I love knowing how different couples split their money. Same. But yeah, she has mentioned before they're not officially married, but she calls him her husband. A lot of wealthy people still believe in the benefit of public education. Plus, the area she lives in, I imagine the public schools are fantastic. True, if you are in the wealthiest suburb of Sydney, I imagine the public schools would have the networking opportunities of a private school anyway. Because that's what a lot of people go to private schools for, is the networking in the community. People are saying she lives in North Sydney. Let's just say she lives in Sydney. We're not quite sure where. I guess she's earning more from TikTok than her law firm. Well, yeah, she could be. It's really hard in Australia though. Obviously we know there's no creator fund, so she doesn't get paid for views. But yeah, I also haven't really seen much like sponsored content on her TikTok. But yeah, who knows? There must be something going on. She does get sent PR packages a lot. Oh, people are saying kindergarten is prep in Sydney. Okay, so that's why I'm confused and thinking her kids are going to kinder, which is pre-prep in Victoria. But yes, kindergarten means prep in Sydney. And they are 6. Gosh, it's awful that we know so much about these children, isn't it? All right, so yes, Zana Pali. Someone's asked me to go on and I agree. I need to move on now. So let me just find my notes on Zana Pali. So she is a My Kitchen Rules contestant from 2016 who has since forged herself an influencer career. When I was looking back at her 2016 footage and stuff from MKR, she looks totally different. She's very like Insta baddie now, like with the thick makeup and the extensions and the tan and, you know, the typical Insta baddie look. But anyway, somebody has put in a Facebook group, they've submitted some anonymous tea saying that there is a contestant from My Kitchen Rules 2016 who has been having a full-blown affair on her husband with another married man. Her husband found the messages on her phone while she was in the shower. She went to Italy with this man while married to her husband also. Their marriage collapsed last year, but it's only surfacing now. And I mean, everybody immediately was like, this must be Zana Pali. I don't know if this is true because it is just submitted anonymously, so it's completely unverified, but there have been a lot of rumours swirling recently that they have broken up because basically they've deleted evidence from each other's Instagrams of each other, so that to me is a clear sign that they've split. She recently did a post saying, I know I'm misjudged all day long, especially being on social media, but believe me, there's no one harder on me than me. So nothing anyone can say can take me down. I work my damn hardest to be a better person every day. Spread love, be kind, and know that behind the screen, we are all people literally just doing our best. Far from perfect. So I'm wondering if that's relating to rumors about why they've split up. Maybe people are portraying her as this cheating sort of person, and she's maybe responding saying that she's been completely misjudged on the situation. But yeah,
she's admitting that she cheated and saying, yeah, I'm a shit person, but I'm working on it.
Maybe she is saying that, yeah, it's true and she's working on it. That is true. Maybe it's interesting because, yeah, everyone interprets things differently on social media, and that's the problem. It's the same when I do Q&As and I write text. I find if I speak to the camera, there's a lot less confusion as to like what I'm actually meaning. But yeah, it does seem like they have very much split up and a lot of people really liked them together. So her husband's name is Gianni Romano. Yep. And back in August last year, so about 6 months ago, they did sell their Brighton house for $10 million. So the fact they sold their house, that is probably what started the breakup rumors, because people are like, well, why are they selling their house? Are they moving? But then they actually split up. So yeah, that's that one. Let's see what people are saying about that. Oh, someone wants me to repeat the submission. So the tea is, there's a contestant from My Kitchen Rules 2016 who has been having a full-blown affair on her husband with another married man. Her husband found the messages on her phone while she was in the shower. She went to Italy with this man while married to her husband also. Their marriage collapsed last year, but it's only surfacing now. So yeah, that ties in with the fact they sold their house last year in August. This person's saying, yes, she cheated on him. The whole Albanian community knows. They tried to get back together, but it didn't work. Another person saying, I noticed at Christmas they had separate posts of the kids at different places without each other. Nat Saniski, Ashley Bynes' ex-bestie, she's commented that I'm not in my pajamas tonight. Yes, I got this Country Road t-shirt for $20 this week, so I thought, well, might just wear that. It was one of those like buy and save, spend and save promotions. Their house was on the market for so long, so it must have happened way before August. Oh, that's a good point. Just because they sold it in August, it might have been for what obviously was for sale prior to August. But then this person saying they are builders, developers, they build and sell all the time. And another person saying they built it as their forever home. So yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much confirmation that they've split. I do get messages probably like twice a week asking what the go is with Zana Pali, has she split from her husband? And this is the video I'm going to be directing them to from now on because yes, I definitely believe that they have split up. And yes, I should have worn my pajamas tonight, sorry. Oh, this person's saying there's also a rumour that he isn't straight, but I haven't heard that one. And this person's saying, oh, it's interesting all these faceless accounts have all suddenly logged in and now they're all saying these like crazy claims. This person's saying she was caught cheating with multiple men.
What's saying they're faceless?
Well, like they've got no face for the profile picture.
Oh.
Yeah, something's a bit weird. This person's saying they can't get over how much plastic surgery Zana's had. Is that what she's had? Because she looks totally different to 8 years ago on My Kitchen Rules. But anyway, I'm going to log off now because I've been on here for 22 minutes and spoken about the 3 topics I wanted to talk about. So thanks all so much for joining in. If you do have any questions, you can always send me a DM on Instagram because I love talking about influencers, and every time people message me things, that's how I learn about influencers. So I love it.
And subscribe if you haven't already subscribed.
Subscribe to my daily update. So I post to stories every single day and it's $4.99 per month Australian, and yeah, it's worth it. It's like 30 cents a day or something, and I think you'll love it. And if you don't like it, you can always cancel it, and the most you've lost is $5, so it's worth it. All right, I'm going to go now. Thanks. Oh,